It's This Week in Bourbon, and these new AI selfie videos are pretty damn mind-blowing. Here's your headlines for June 13th, 2025. The Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame is inducting and announcing its new inductees. Bardstown Bourbon has announced their new club program, and Stitzel-Weller is launching Stitzel Reserve. But before we get started, here's a quick word from our partners. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is This Week in Bourbon. It is a very Old Fitzgerald This Week in Bourbon.
Very Old Fitzgerald. Yeah, I've seen everybody on the socials, Instagrams, the grams. You're probably seeing it on TikTok, but everybody's finding these, opening these. And so we got ours, and I was like, you know what? I want to try it out.
We actually talked about it last week, didn't we, on This Week in Bourbon?
We did.
Because we got the box in, and we are, I don't know how backed up we are on A, to do reviews, but B, how much more until we have to start recording Whiskey Quickies, because we do usually like 8 to 12 at a time when we actually do it. So we take about a good healthy break in the middle.
About 2 months, yep.
Yeah. Which, if this was our full-time gig, don't get me wrong, if we were doing the podcast full-time, we would be cranking out reviews all the time. But, you know, it's the bourbon brand. That's what takes it all the time.
Gosh, yeah. Sucks all the life. Not life. It gives me energy, too. But,
you want to give your quick Whiskey Quickie on this one?
Yeah, the nose was kind of muted, you know, a little bit like some honey, I don't know, some soft cereal notes, but a little bit slight hint of cherry. But the palate, I mean, it's smooth. It's
smooth. I think you're going to get this.
I mean, it's definitely enjoyable. Like, it's good. And I mean, I saw it at Costco for like $42 or something.
That's hard to beat.
Yeah. So, and I even like, probably on other retails, it's probably like $59, $99, $60. It's kind of seen as low as 42, high as like 60. But for that price point, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's not. Don't think it's going to be like the decanters, because those are on another level. But this is just a really good, solid, you know, bourbon.
I agree. It's not going to win Whiskey of the Year for you.
No,
it's not going to do that.
Yeah,
but it looks great, and
it does. The bottle's freaking sexy.
It is.
We didn't get a velvet bag though.
We did not get the velvet bag with ours, but I've heard they're out in market. So go get you one.
Go get you a bag.
Yeah.
Then put your dime bag in it.
You could hide your weed in it.
That's right.
What movie was that from?
I don't know. They put the crown. Or is that
Remember, it's just like, you could hide your weed in there.
Yeah. That's gosh. It's with Dave Chappelle and the Jim.
Baked or half baked. There we go.
Yeah.
That's what it. Man, there we go. That's a throwback
and
one.
Funyuns.
Nice. Well, I did open it up because I talked about these AI videos, and I know, Ryan, you've seen them. They have actually been blowing up on TikTok of using Google's VO3 AI engine, and I have one kind of queued up here, which. They do like these crazy selfie videos. Ryan showed one of like gorillas doing selfies. There is one of Disney princesses doing selfies, but this one I held because when you can ever act like it was people from the Bible doing selfie videos, it turns out pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Me and Aaron just got inside the palace.
We're
about to ask Pharaoh to let our people go. No idea how this is going to go, but wish us luck. Okay, we just left the meeting. We asked, he laughed, said no one's going anywhere. Anyway, the fight
These
goes on.
These two guys are walking around.
Pharaoh, if you're watching this is your last chance.
And,
let the people go, or it's going to rain, hail, frogs, whatever.
Yeah.
Hashtag let my people go.
But yeah, I mean,
dude, it's incredible.
It's this new VO3, man. It's amazing. It's going to take over the world.
Yeah, look, I love the gorilla ones. Those are my favorite. Those are
they're Bigfoot.
Yeah, the Bigfoots just roaming around with Zens or just doing, I don't know, running around like they're holding the camera. It's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I've been embracing a lot more AI and everything that we're doing as well. And so we're going to see how this goes. This is actually going to be the first AI generated This Week in Bourbon when it comes to the news.
Yeah, that's not even us talking. It's
okay. It is us talking. But I love automating myself out of a job. So what I ended up doing was building another automation inside Zapier that when we start getting all these press releases, I used to go through, read them, and start highlighting and taking out all the good bits and pieces of information. And I mean, I don't know how many hours I spent a week doing that. And I said, well, let me go ahead and figure out what I can automate myself. So now when I get a press release in, I will tag it inside of Gmail as a press release, and then automation takes over. It says, hey, this is a press release. It has the new tag. It feeds it into Gemini. I said, go ahead and summarize this. It spits it back out and puts it in a brand new Google Doc for me.
Incredible. Mm-hmm. You're going to be on the golf course in no time all day.
And then we got to figure out how robots are going to take over that too.
Yeah.
Actually, you've seen the robots that can golf. They're
pretty impressive.
They're really good.
They're consistent, unlike us.
Yeah. So
can they do barrel dumps and tasting? I'm sure it's
barrel
far
dumps.
away.
Barrel dumps we could probably automate. That's for sure.
Can they film barrel dumps?
Yes, they probably can, Ryan.
Yeah. I'm going to use the AI assistant to just create a bunch of barrel dump videos for the gram. I mean, it's unbelievable. We did one Monday. You know, we recorded last Friday, posted it Monday, and it's already like almost 200,000 views. And it's like the one me far away going, ah! Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
And then whatever happened to that? You had a drone at one point that you were going to film some stuff around here. Whatever happened to that?
I know.
Didn't you get it for Christmas?
I did. And I crashed it into a tree.
Oh, you did?
And I did fix it, but the weather's been pretty bad outside this spring, and I haven't had time. But now that it's getting summer and nice, I need to go back and start practicing it because I flew it around in here and crashed it against a wall. Because it's weird when you fly it in reverse, like the controls kind of switch around.
Yeah.
And so you're like, turn left, no, crap, left, right, and then boom. So I need to get better.
Okay. I promise you'll get there. Let's see. I don't have any announcements to talk about unless you have anything you want to throw out other than we are in a push for new ambassadors for our distributed states, especially in Dallas. So if you're in Dallas, we'd love to have you sit here and join us as well.
Yeah. And if you're in Kansas City, I'm going to be doing an event somewhere July 31st and maybe the 1st too, but definitely the 31st. Don't have the details yet, but mark your calendar. I will be announcing that in the next week or two.
Sounds good.
Trying to get through Palooza week.
Oh, yeah. It is Palooza week.
Yeah. Today,
Happy Palooza for everybody's driving in this morning that's listening to this.
Yeah. It's an awesome, we're having an awesome time right now, you know, because it's Friday.
We're just prepping, getting everything ready. For
the yeah, Palooza is always a great time. Get to see our fans and then showcase all of bourbon country to them. So it's fun.
Yeah. I'll give you some teasers for anybody that is like, what the heck is Pursuit Palooza? This is our fourth or fifth.
This is our fourth.
This is our fourth annual Pursuit Palooza. And we do this only for our Patreon subscribers. And it's only for the first, I think, like 104 people or 102 people that can buy a ticket as quick as they can. And we start pulling out all the stops. We make some phone calls, pull some strings, and we do some really kind of experiences at distilleries that you typically wouldn't get if you were just to show up there and do the regular tour. So this year we're doing Angel's Envy. We're going to do a lot of stuff here at Pursuit. We've got an evening event that's happening at Vernon Lanes here in Louisville, which is, if you didn't know, it's actually a bourbon bar, and I think one of the oldest bowling alleys in the U.S. as well.
Yep, it is.
And then tomorrow, because tomorrow you're listening to this, we are going to visit Lux Row. I don't even know what we have in store. They just said, hey,
we're doing some Penelope stuff and some Lux Row stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. They just said, cool, we're going to pull out all the stops for you. And then we're going to be one of the first groups ever that gets to go and visit the new Heaven Hill Springs Distillery.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that.
And then on Saturday,
for all of it. But.
Yeah, and then on Saturday night, I talked to my buddy Owen. He owns the Neat Bar that just opened in Bardstown. We're going to have a Dusty Blanton's pour for everybody that is going to be there. Yes.
Nice.
And then
my birth year, 85.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's going to pull out. And then I'm just letting people, because it's National Bourbon Day on Saturday, and so there's going to be all kinds of stuff in the street with vendors and bands and whatnot. So just go ahead and meander around there, find yourself a cocktail, grab yourself something to eat, then hop on the bus, and then it's going to outer space.
Outer space. Can't wait.
Yeah.
One time a year. I'm skipping White Castles, though, this year.
Oh, man. It
took me like 6 months to recover.
Yeah. And by the way, we're going to go ahead and start with the bourbon news. But if you finally stuck around with us, thank you. YouTube subscribers, YouTube people, they've been so mad at our format because they're like, why don't you just get to talking about the headline? Because I'll say something, I'll put like the image of whatever it is. And they're like, it took 20 minutes to start talking about them. I was like, oh, it's a podcast, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
you should have been subscribing to us for the past 10 years, and you might have known exactly how our format works.
All right. Well, shut up about AI-generated social media. from now on.
Well, actually, let's go ahead and let's start the AI generative social media.
Let's do it.
Here we go. So this first one, this first one is because one of our buddies, he's the owner of Nashville Barrel Company. He sent this to us and he said, well, the news is going to get out, so I might as well tell you all. And it's that the rare Pappy Van Winkle 15-year single barrel that went up for auction was sold for a grand total of $800,000. This was led by Michael Hines, including other industry giants such as Prop Saraf, Alex Ennis, Casey Kostrovsky, Craig Lyman, Nick Handy, Russell Berman, Shelby Meisler, Jamie Marcus, and others. However, a significant sum of this will be entirely donated to the World Central Kitchen and another round to highly impactful charities supporting California wildfire relief efforts.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Would you pay $800,000 for a barrel?
Well, it's better than the $3 million it was going for at one point.
Well,
when they had to,
I think they got rid of all the fake bids,
Yeah.
and it dropped back down, and so 800 was the final.
Yeah, 15 years. There's probably 100-ish bottles in there, maybe.
Lucky,
if you're lucky. Yeah, that's a lot of bottles.
It's a lot of bottles.
A lot of money for bottles.
It's a lot of scratch,
But
my friend.
It's going to charity, so it's pretty cool that they haven't done one of these in quite some time. So before Buffalo Traces bought it, so
That's true. Yeah, back when the Van
it's
Winkles
been
owned
30
it.
years probably.
Yeah, back when the Van Winkles owned it, there was I didn't say quite a few, but there's a handful of private label Van Winkles that made it out there. And I think there might only been just like a couple 15 years. There really wasn't that many.
Yeah. So pretty rare, pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Congrats, Mike. I'm sure writing that check was fun.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say. Good thing Nashville Barrel Company's doing well.
Yeah, they're rolling.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep going here. ASW Distillery, they're highlighting a summer of growth with several new initiatives, and this includes their Fiddler Encore Bourbon being named one of the top 5 bourbons, and they're also going to be releasing an 8-year-old bourbon under the Fiddler Chin Music label to coincide with the MLB All-Star Game coming to Atlanta. ASW is also launching a smoked stave bourbon, and this is using white oak staves that were toasted inside of big green eggs. In June, in June,
We've
ASW
done that before.
You have?
Remember we did it for that Pittman video?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was in a Traeger.
Yeah, I was going to say, Traeger finished.
Yep.
And in June, ASW will open a brand new bar and restaurant inside Concourse B at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, offering travelers a taste of Atlanta's craft spirit scene. And yeah, and through their vodka, they're actually supporting NIL contracts at the University of Georgia.
Oh, that's cool. I know Fiddler is a popular seller on Sealbox. They have a bunch of picks in Brian's office, and I'm pretty sure most of it's MGP, but they do some fun and interesting finishes and things. So, yeah.
That's one way to do it.
one
I
way
like
to
it.
do it.
I like it. So the University of Kentucky's Estate Whiskey Alliance has announced its first ever estate whiskey certified products. And this is signifying whiskeys that were produced entirely on the distillery's estate with at least 2/3 of the grains that are sourced locally. The certification aims to provide consumers with transparency regarding ingredient sourcing and production methods. The certification is also going to be certified, to say some of the initial ones here, is that Maker's Mark Star Hill Farm Whiskey was the first one. Then you have Black Fox Farm and Distillery, Hill Rock Estate, and Whiskey Acres Distilling. And these will be talking about local agriculture, sustainability, authenticity, and more.
Like Kentucky Proud.
Kentucky Proud. It sure
Or
is.
in Whiskey Acres case,
It's-
Louisiana Proud.
Well, it's just all estate whiskey, estate grown whiskey.
Gotcha.
I guess it's cool, but I don't know. It's a stamp. I don't know as a consumer. I'm like, yeah, I got to get behind this. I think it's more. It's like
Some people care.
Well, if I was touring and I was visiting there, then I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna show you our estate grown stuff, and you'd be like, oh wow, this is really cool. Like it's more of a knee-jerk reaction purchase that I would make rather than going out and seeking it on the shelf.
You're too rational, Kenny. Most humans aren't. That's why it's called marketing.
Then that's why I'm wrong with it.
Yep.
So here's our first headline is that the Kentucky Distillers Association has announced the 2025 inductees to the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. And this is including Chris Morris from Brown-Forman. He's their Master Distiller Emeritus. And he is also going to be the recipient of the Parker Beam Lifetime Achievement Award. The Hall of Fame also recognizes individuals who have made a transformational impact on bourbon's stature, growth, and awareness. And this is going to be including Craig Beam, Mary Dowling, Larry Ebersol, Chris Morris, and Damon Thayer. The introduction ceremony will be held in September during Bourbon Heritage Month.
Dang, that's a heck of a class. I would have thought Morrissey and Ebersol would have already been
in there.
Yeah, because Ebersol is like it's interesting because he's not really Kentucky.
Well, he's the MGP.
He's the creator of the Indiana rye, like the 95.5 rye.
He's the founder, the godfather of 95.5.
Yeah, and so, but he has consulted on a ton of projects in Kentucky, and so well deserved. He's one of the brightest minds, and Chris is awesome. I was really bummed I missed the cut this year, but
You just got to try harder.
I know.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'll keep swinging.
You'll keep swinging. Keep swinging to the fences, man. One day, if it comes to a vote and a nomination, I'll be like, hey.
Fred deserves it more than we do. So.
I agree. I think Fred should definitely be up there. I think he's got to get a little more gray hairs in him before they let him do that, though.
Yeah.
You have to dedicate more than a couple years to it.
He's got to be emeritus something.
Ask God emeritus.
That's right.
But who knows? It's like, he's got a lot of, I don't know if it's conflicting, like creating the Ask God Awards, creating all these other things. Do you think they would look at that and be like, I don't really know if that's deserving of it?
I don't know. I mean, he's written so many books and created so much hype and attention around.
You're right.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
We'll nominate Fred next year.
Totally.
If it comes down to it. I mean, I remember it was a couple of years ago, Steve Akeley, he's the one that nominated Freddie Johnson because, remember, if anybody doesn't know, the KDA and Buffalo Trace, they don't get along. They don't like each other. And so since Buffalo Trace doesn't support the KDA has never inducted anybody from Sazerac and Buffalo Trace, but Steve Akeley made a petition to say, we need to bring in Freddie Johnson. And they did it.
Totally.
So they built a bridge, but I don't think Sazerac has actually returned it yet. I don't know.
Nope, not yet.
They built the bridge and then they cut the rope on the other side.
Like, see over on the other side.
Like Indiana Jones, just like just swinging the other side there. All right, so other headline is that Bardstown Bourbon Company has announced the Reserve. This is its first ever whiskey club, and membership includes 3 curated allocations per year of rare small batch expressions, limited releases, and collaborations, and they're shipped directly to members' doors. Allocations include a 375 Distillery Reserve selection and 750 ml selections from the Collaborative Series, Discovery Series, and Rare Single Barrels. The inaugural allocation in July includes their famed, and the one that's absolutely delicious, the Cathedral French Oak finish, and an 8-year estate distilled single barrel, hand-signed by Master Distiller Steve Nally. Membership also includes behind-the-scenes experiences at the distillery, member discounts, and other benefits. Membership is extremely limited, as it says, and available only to residents of Kentucky, D.C., North Dakota, New Hampshire, and Nebraska. And I didn't think we put it on here, but you go to the website. It costs you a cool $1,000 to be a part of this.
Yeah, and I was kind of confused. I'm assuming the bottles are included in that price.
It is.
Okay, so really it's not that bad. It was like 127 because you get 6 bottles, $127, I think roughly is the math per bottle. So that's, within reason. Usually those Bardstown releases are up there. So, but it does stink if you don't live in one of those.
The 5 states.
The 5 states. So I'm assuming they're using Kentucky shipping laws versus going, to a DC or somewhere to do fulfillment for them. So it's cool. I mean, obviously, thankfully, we were one of the first in this, and
we're learning it the hard way.
People, exactly, yeah. I think it's cool. We do have 2 8-year, our first oldest barrels of Bardstown Bourbon Company of our mash bill turned 8, and we just bottled them, 2 of them.
Should we go ahead and say that for anybody that's listening? If you're coming around to Kentucky for National Bourbon Day, we do have 2, maybe 1. I don't know. It depends on how fast it sells out during Palooza, but there's going to be a single barrel of 8-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Pursuit Series available here at the distillery.
Produced by our good partner, Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, very cool.
Yep. And then speaking of clubs, I totally forgot to mention it. If you are a P Club member, our direct-to-consumer program, I put out the allocation email this past week. And so you have until Wednesday next week, or maybe Tuesday, whichever it is. Make sure you get it. Go to your email, customize your order, and click save. And then that's it. Then you're done.
Get on it.
You want to tell them about what you made for it?
Oh, yeah. We got a really special cognac finished rye. I've been experimenting with this and finally brought it to life. And my gosh, it's freaking good.
It's really good.
I know I talk in hyperbole, but
This is the best one.
This is
we've ever
one of
made.
the best, one of the best ones we've done yet. So
It's actually really good. There's only going to be 700 bottles of it for this
I
run.
know I
And
went,
so we'll
I went
see.
small in this first release because I'm always nervous creating a new product. Like I don't want to make too much and then just be like, okay, and then it's tough to sell. So
Yep. So
I think this one will go fast once people start trying it.
700 bottles, and that's it. And then if you do love it and you have it, you say, hey, I want more of this, and we're going to add it to the queue.
Yep.
And our last news story here is that Cannella Media has launched a new channel called Wine, Whiskey, and Watches. It's the first fast channel devoted entirely to premium wine, spirits, and luxury lifestyle content. It's now streaming on Roku and Amazon Fire. The channel aims to connect brands with an engaged, highly valued audience by delivering curated content from trusted voices. And the launch taps into the rise of direct-to-consumer storytelling in wine and spirits and the growth of genre-driven fast channels. Cannella Media brings 4 decades of performance media experience along with a successful track record of niche channel development.
All right. Niche channel development.
Yeah. Well, I put this in here because guess what? You too can now watch Bourbon Pursuit
Oh,
on Cannella Media's new Wine, Whiskey, and Watches channel.
all right. I'll tune in.
Yes. So they've been taking a lot of our content from Whiskey Quickies and some of the new episodes that are going to be released. And you can now catch all of the Bourbon Pursuit episodes over there on that new channel.
Love it.
Yes. All right. That is it for the news. Stick around. As usual, Bourbon Release News coming up. Hey everyone, it is Bourbon Release News time. Just a couple ones to go over, and some of them actually made some big headlines this week. And the first one, we'll talk about Remus Bourbon. George Remus, I never understood why they named him after, a smuggler and a murderer and whatever. But I think they're redeeming themselves because now it's the ultra limited 2025 Remus Babe Ruth Reserve.
Oh,
It's made in partnership with the Babe Ruth family.
they've done this before, haven't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're doing yet another one here. This is going to be limited to 8,399 bottles available at retail this month with a suggested retail price of $150 per bottle. And this features a medley of 3 high rye bourbon mash bills inspired by Ruth's number 3, which also includes specially selected barrels distilled in 2016 and 2017, comprising of 44% rye, 49% rye, and 36% rye bourbons. And then the 2025 edition is going to be packaged in an ornate decanter that's Art Deco inspired, featuring an embossed baseball diamond pattern and a unique baseball bat knob wooden cork closure.
Oh, wow. I'm sure there's a ton of Babe Ruth fans that'll be all over this, or Yankees fans in general.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to get your take on this because you used to collect a lot of baseball cards, right?
Still do. Well,
Still do?
my son's gotten into it, so now I'm back into it.
So at what point, I mean, if your son's into it, I mean, does he even know who Mickey Mantle and Babe Ruth and Honus Wagner, does he even know who these are? Or is he like, hey,
No, you have to teach him about them.
yeah, and that's what at what point does the value of these older ones get lost, other than its rarity? But it's like, I don't even know who like is the most famous baseball player now, because it's definitely not Darryl Strawberry. That's dating
Aaron
myself.
Judge, probably.
Aaron Judge. So
Yeah.
if like you had an Aaron Judge card versus, let's say, Pete Rose, right? So we're not going to go all the way back to Honus Wagner, but
P Rose is gonna be worth a lot more because there's less of them made back then, more. But anyways, I have to. So like for my son, we won the 9-year championship, and his coach is a big baseball card collector. And he had old boxes of cards from like the 90s, and he would just give them packs to like the kids. And they're opening up, and he's like, I don't. And I was like, whoa, there's a King Griffey one right there. It wasn't a rookie, but it was a King
it's
Griffey
a
card.
King Griffey
I'm like,
card.
King Griffey cards have value, and I was like, no, we need to hang on to those.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
did you go steal the cards from the other kids too? Like,
No,
let me
I
look
didn't.
at this.
Yeah, they're all just like tossing them everywhere. I'm like, wait, there could be some good ones in there.
There you go, finding your little Easter eggs, huh?
Yeah, totally.
All right, so our next one is that Buzzard's Roost is going to release new single barrel whiskeys, and that's coming on Saturday, June 14th, because it is National Bourbon Day. And this is specially chosen by its flock of superfans called the Embuzadors. This is twice a year where Buzzard's Roost invites the Embuzadors to its distillery.
Embuzadors.
I know. And they go in for some barrel picks, and this group's selection is then bottled by them, and they get a first dibs bottle. This newest selection is a 5-year-old barrel strength rye that was double oaked for 18 months in one of Buzzard's Roost's lightly charred, custom toasted barrels. And it's a rye, 115 proof, and retails for $85.
That's fun. Yeah, we've thought about doing that too, just with our Piccolo, but that's cool. Because Mellow Moments does that with theirs, don't they?
They just started doing that about a year ago.
With Four Roses.
Yeah, but Mellow Moments, I think, has like 25 or 30,000 members in it. So getting in the lottery to come and select a barrel, don't get me wrong, like selecting a barrel at Four Roses is probably one of the best experiences there are. It's kind of hard to beat what they do, just in regards to like the variability of what you get to choose from. But when I don't even know how many barrels they get to select, but I guarantee it's not enough to satisfy all the Moments members.
No way.
All the mellows out there.
I think this Father's Day release they're doing is pretty big. I heard it was like
35 barrels.
35 barrels.
35 barrels, yeah. That's what, I know I'm probably spilling the beans, but I'm watching everybody on Discord and they're trying to talk about how do we get to Four Roses to get our bottle and then hoof it back to Louisville to get back on the bus in time for Palooza.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
I think they can do it.
They can. It's not that. It's about 35 minutes.
Away. Yeah, 35 minutes away.
Yeah.
And they already sent out an email, 4O sent an email that they have had so much inquiry that they're going to start staggering the release. So it starts at 9 a.m. They're releasing a set number at 9 a.m. and then releasing more starting at 11 a.m. So that way you don't have to get there and wait in the
camping
morning.
line.
Yeah. With 35 barrels, like that's a lot of whiskey, y'all. Like, there's going to be plenty. And that's what I think one of the best conversations that I had was, do you think the bus can just stop by Four Roses on Saturday?
No chance. It'd take too long.
Just stop like before we go to Luxor and Heaven. Yeah, we had to stop it.
Get 108 people to check out in 10 minutes. No way.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. All right, so this next one, I don't know, it kind of broke the internet a little bit and people were talking about it. That Buffalo Trace is introducing Eagle Rare 12-year in this latest age-stated addition to the famed Eagle Rare lineup. It means the debut is going to come. It coincides, it says, with its 10-year, $1.2 billion expansion project, which played a pivotal role in its creation. It does say that it is mash bill number 1, which I think for the longest time they didn't talk about which mash bill it came from, but it is mash bill number 1 is what it says.
But it's mostly known that it was.
Yeah. Aged for a minimum of 12 years, bottled at 95 proof, and retails for $50.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for whiskey fans. I mean, we're getting back to a point where it's like that 2013 to 2018 time frame where you could get a lot of really high age value bourbons, and so we're getting back there.
I find it odd though. It's like you still can't find Eagle Rare on the shelf. So why create more SKUs when you don't have the ability to stock the current ones? Now I get it. You have 12-year-old whiskey that's more valuable than a 10-year.
Make what, $15 more a bottle, I guess? I don't know.
Well, somebody ran the numbers. I get that. But I look at it and I'm just kind of like, maybe instead of holding it on longer, you should just go ahead and fulfill and sell now. But maybe they're in a good cash financial position that they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and they got a lot of whiskey.
What if is this the Heaven Hill bottle and bond? What if they're starting to like get rid of the 10-year because they're like, hey, we can bring it back 12-year. We have the whiskey. We can add on a few more dollars to it, and we can make
phase out the regular Eagle Rare.
Yeah, phase it out.
I doubt it.
I mean, phase it out, or just make Eagle Rare whatever, and it's 6 years old, and then you have 2 different price points that you hit. Just saying.
Who knows?
Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
I probably won't buy either, but
I'll try it.
I mean, I like Eagle Rare. It's fine. It's always just fine to me.
Well, 95 proof. I think we're batting above that these days. So.
Totally.
All right, so this next one is from Muga Spirits. And they've announced the release of its second barrel in its limited Yokai series, and it's set to go live on Friday, June 13th. Yeah, a lot of stuff's happened at National Bourbon Week. The bottle series draws inspiration from yokai, which is a supernatural being rooted in Japanese folklore, with each release exploring a different creature. The second barrel follows the debut release, which was named the best new bourbon in May by Up Rocks. This new release is bottled at 141.8 proof, hazmat, and continues Mugen Spirit's focus on bold, high-character expressions. The Tengu series label features original hand-drawn artwork by Tengu by acclaimed Japanese illustrator Yuku Shimizu, I hope Shimizu. Sorry about that. And additional barrels. And additional barrels in the Yokai series are expected throughout the summer.
Is that I was reading about this new online retailer.
By the way, this didn't say that this new release is bourbon, so keep that in mind. It's 141.8 proof, but it does not say it's bourbon.
Probably light whiskey. But anyways, yeah, there's I don't know if you saw in Louisville Business First. Do you read that?
Whenever somebody sends me an article.
Gotcha.
And I can't
anyways,
get past
they
the
talk
paywall.
about.
I read the first paragraph, and then I'm blocked out after that.
Gotcha. There was this new online retailer I hadn't heard of, but they carried this, and they said it sold out within like 30 seconds because of the Uprocks article.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The first
way to
release
go,
of this.
Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, you got some writing power over there, buddy. Frank's he's
Bourbon Enthusiasm.
Yeah, so he's the writer over there at Uprocks. He's a good friend of the show too. So awesome to hear that.
Yep.
And then I actually do know one of the people behind this particular label as well. So very cool to be able to see that it sold out that very quickly.
Your buddies with Shimizuki?
No, not him. Not him, unfortunately. Last one here. Stitzel-Weller is announcing Stitzel Reserve. And I say it's not Stitzel-Weller. Stitzel-Weller Distillery is announcing Stitzel Reserve. And this is a new series of exclusive rare releases of aged Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, with the inaugural offering being a 24-year-old expression. This new series will feature highly limited releases drawn from the distillery's historic warehouses and will be available solely on site at the Louisville-based distillery. Stitzel Reserve 24-year-old was personally selected and blended by Nicole Austin. She's the director of American Whiskey for liquid development and capabilities for Diageo, from just 9 barrels. And of just 9 barrels, it got a whopping 191 bottles.
Oh, wow.
I know. Talk about, the Angels got their share there, didn't they? Each expression in the Stitzel Reserve will be carefully curated based on liquid quality and peak maturation. I think it's probably...
It peaked.
It peaked, yeah. With no
like 7 years ago.
Yeah. So this inaugural offering is available for sale on-site at the distillery, and you can also get a tasting experience at the Garden and Gun Club on their site, too.
Interesting. The last 24-year-old
I
bourbon,
didn't see a price
was,
or a proof, by the way. So,
was like the Parker's one, and it was like kind of...
Yeah. Well, I remember the Parker's 24. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
It tasted like moss and
it tasted old and funky.
Yeah, I did not like
weird,
it whatsoever.
But maybe they did something different here.
I mean, I've had a lot of old whiskey. I mean, other than like Pappy 23, that's probably one of the best older ones that I've had. I think there's a few random samples that I've gotten over the years that are pretty decent, but the majority of them, I mean, even Elijah Craig 23, terrible.
Yeah.
Most of them
you gotta really
good.
like those funky oak flavors, harsh oak funky.
And you have to want to lose a lot of money to only have 191
but
bottles.
But it's cool. It's 24 years old.
Yes, it is. I bet you it's like $1,000 a bottle.
Oh, it's
has to be. There's no way that they can sell for anything less. I mean, what was Blade and Bow? Those were over 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe close to 1,000. And it's probably no different.
Those were 22 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to be around there. Hey, man, that's it. That's This Week in Bourbon.
That's it. Happy Palooza Week.
Happy Palooza Week. We can't wait to see everybody. If you're listening to this on the way in, the password for the buses, we're going to do Weeder and Tater. So choose your bus carefully.
That's right.
All right.
I'm on the Weeder, on the Tater.
Is that what it is? Okay. I'll take the Tater bus.
I'm kidding.
All right, y'all. That's it for This Week in Bourbon. Cheers, and we'll see you next time.
Toodles.